The year was 1964. Winter in Miami cast a different kind of chill than what most expected from the Sunshine State. Inside the Hampton House Motel, a modest establishment where black celebrities could stay when segregation laws barred them from Miami Beach hotels, Muhammad Ali, still known to many as Cassius Clay, paced in his room. The 22-year-old boxer had just shocked the world by defeating Sonny Liston for the heavyweight championship, but his mind wasn't on his victory. If this story has already made you feel something, no matter how small, don't leave without giving back. Comment and tell me where you're watching this video from, and subscribe to the channel. The air conditioner hummed quietly as Ali glanced at the telephone for the 15th time that hour. His relationship with Malcolm X had deteriorated rapidly since Ali's public embrace of Elijah Muhammad's Nation of Islam. Malcolm, once his spiritual mentor, had broken with the nation over allegations of corruption and moral hypocrisy among its leadership. The schism tore at Ali's heart, a division between two men who had once been as close as brothers. Outside, a black Cadillac pulled up to the motel entrance. The driver, wearing sunglasses despite the cloudy day, scanned the surroundings before nodding to his passenger. Malcolm X stepped out, his tall frame unfolding from the back seat. At 39 years old, the civil rights leader carried himself with the same intensity and purpose he always had, though recent months had added lines to his face that hadn't been there before. "Brother Malcolm is here to see you," said Sam, Ali's assistant, after knocking softly on the door. Ali froze. He hadn't expected Malcolm to come in person. Their last interaction had been tense, with Ali publicly rejecting Malcolm's friendship after the split with the nation. The young boxer's voice was uncharacteristically soft when he responded, "Send him in." The room fell silent as Malcolm entered. Gone was the warm familiarity that had once defined their relationship. In its place stood formality and unspoken accusations. Malcolm removed his hat, revealing closely cropped hair with traces of gray at the temples. "Assalamu alaikum." Malcolm offered the traditional Muslim greeting. Ali hesitated before responding, "Wa alaikum salam." "Congratulations on your victory," Malcolm said, his voice measured. "You fought exactly as we discussed you would. You showed the world what a determined black man can accomplish." "Thank you," Ali replied, his famous eloquence momentarily abandoned. "I didn't expect to see you here." Malcolm moved toward the window, keeping a careful distance between them. "I wouldn't have come if it wasn't important. I'm leaving for Africa tomorrow. There are things that need to be said between us before I go." Outside, the Miami traffic continued, oblivious to the historic conversation unfolding in the modest motel room. Two titans of American history, one who would become the most celebrated athlete of the century, the other whose life would be cut short in just 1 year, stood at a crossroads that would define both their legacies. "They're watching you, Cassius," Malcolm said, deliberately using Ali's birth name. "The same people who embrace you now will discard you when you're no longer useful. I've seen it happen." Ali's jaw tightened. "My name is Muhammad Ali now, and I've made my choice. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has shown me the path." Malcolm's eyes reflected a sadness that transcended their immediate conflict. "I once believed that too, with all my heart." For 45 minutes they spoke, two men whose intertwined destinies were diverging before their eyes. Their conversation ranged from personal betrayal to the greater struggle for black liberation. Neither man fully yielded, yet beneath the tension lay the remnants of a profound connection that neither could completely deny. The Hampton House motel room had begun to feel smaller as their conversation intensified. Ali's championship belt rested on a marble-topped table imported from Italy, a luxury that seemed out of place in the otherwise modest surroundings. Malcolm's gaze occasionally drifted to it, a symbol of the young boxer's phenomenal rise. "Do you remember what you told me when we first met at that diner in Detroit?" Malcolm asked, his voice carrying the weight of memory. "You said you wanted more than just championship belts. You wanted to change how black men were seen in America." Ali moved to the window, looking out at the parking lot where several luxury vehicles were parked, including a brand new Rolls-Royce belonging to the millionaire promoter who had backed his championship fight. I still want that. I'm just taking a different road to get there. Is it really your road though? Malcolm challenged. Or is it the road they've chosen for you? The afternoon light cast long shadows across the room as Malcolm reached into his briefcase, a handcrafted leather piece gifted to him by a wealthy supporter in Harlem, and pulled out a file. Before I left New York, I received this from a source within the FBI. They're not just watching me, brother. They're watching you too. Ali's expression hardened. I've got nothing to hide. It's not about hiding, Malcolm replied, his voice dropping to nearly a whisper. It's about understanding the game being played around you. The same government that's monitoring my every move is building a file on you. The same wealthy power brokers who applaud you in public are discussing how to control you in private. Ali took the file but didn't open it. His hands, capable of delivering punches that could fell the most formidable opponents, trembled slightly. Outside, a Bentley Continental pulled up, and a man in an expensive suit emerged, another millionaire boxing investor coming to pay homage to the new champion. The world of money you're entering, Malcolm continued, gesturing toward the window, comes with golden handcuffs. I've seen how it changes men, how it makes them compromise. Ali's voice found its familiar strength. You think I can be bought? You think I don't know who I am? Malcolm stepped closer, close enough that Ali could see the fatigue in his eyes. I think you're 22 years old and suddenly the most famous black man in America. I think you're surrounded by people who see dollar signs when they look at you. And I think the nation is using your fame just as much as the white power structure wants to. The tension in the room was punctuated by the distant sound of a champagne bottle being uncorked in the suite next door, where millionaire sports journalists were preparing to interview the new champion. The contrast between the celebration nearby and the grave conversation unfolding between these two men couldn't have been sharper. There's a diamond merchant from South Africa staying in this hotel, Malcolm said, changing tactics. Worth over $50 million, made his fortune from mines where our brothers work for pennies a day. Yesterday he told reporters he's a big fan of yours. Will you shake his hand when he comes to congratulate you? Where do you draw the line, Mohammed? The conversation shifted as evening approached. A room service attendant delivered a meal on a silver platter, steak for Ali, who had specific dietary requirements during training, served alongside a bottle of sparkling water that cost more than what most people earned in a day. Malcolm declined any refreshment, despite not having eaten since morning. In Mecca, Malcolm said, watching as Ali picked at his food, I prayed alongside men of all colors, white, brown, black, all equal before God. It changed everything I thought I knew about Islam, about race. Ali put down his fork, intrigued despite himself. Elijah Muhammad says, I know what he says. Malcolm interrupted gently. I taught it for 12 years. But there's a difference between what I was teaching and what I experienced in the Holy Land. True Islam doesn't separate us by color, it unites us in faith. The room had grown darker, but neither man moved to turn on additional lights. The shadows seemed appropriate for a conversation about faith, doubt, and the future. Outside, a wealthy film producer pulled up in a custom Jaguar with platinum detailing. He had offered $1 million for the rights to Ali's life story just that morning. They'll try to turn you into something you're not, Malcolm continued. The same system that oppresses our people will attempt to make you a safe symbol. They'll praise your boxing but silence your politics. They'll put you in movies, on television shows, but only if you play by their rules. Ali stood abruptly, his athletic frame casting a long shadow across the room. You think I don't know that? You think I can't handle it? I beat Liston when nobody thought I could. I'll beat them too. Malcolm smiled, a genuine smile that momentarily bridged the chasm between them. That's what I've always admired about you. Your confidence isn't just for the cameras. For a moment they were transported back to earlier days, before the championship, before the schism in the Nation of Islam, when they were simply two men united in a cause greater than themselves. Malcolm reached into his pocket and withdrew an antique pocket watch with a golden chain, a family heirloom worth thousands that had somehow survived generations despite the poverty his family had endured. "My father gave me this before he died," Malcolm said, holding it so the dim light caught its engraved surface. "It's the only thing of value he ever owned. I want you to have it." Ali looked stunned. "I can't take that." "Consider it a reminder," Malcolm insisted. "Time passes quickly, Muhammad. The choices we make echo beyond our lifetimes." The watch passed between them. More than just a timepiece, it was a symbol of something deeper. As Ali's fingers closed around it, both men understood they were participating in a moment that transcended their current disagreement. The night had fully descended outside the Hampton House Motel. In the distance, the lights of Miami created a glowing halo against the dark sky. Neither man had turned on the room's main light, leaving them illuminated only by a small lamp in the corner, its glow creating more shadows than clarity. "I'm not coming back from this trip the same man who left," Malcolm said, his voice carrying a weight that Ali had never heard before. "There are forces aligned against me, both within the nation and outside it. I've been marked." Ali shifted uncomfortably. The intelligence in the file Malcolm had shown him suggested the same, though he had tried to dismiss it as paranoia. "You've made powerful enemies." "We both have," Malcolm countered. "The difference is they still see potential profit in you. In me they see only threat." The air conditioning had stopped working properly, leaving the room uncomfortably warm. Ali loosened his collar while Malcolm remained perfectly composed as always. Outside, a millionaire real estate developer's helicopter landed on a nearby building's helipad, a rare sight in 1964 Miami that drew attention from everyone except the two men deep in conversation. "What do you want from me, Malcolm?" Ali finally asked, his voice carrying equal parts frustration and concern. "You come here talking about danger and enemies. What am I supposed to do with that?" Malcolm leaned forward, his intensity magnetic. "Remember who you really are. Not Cassius Clay, not even Muhammad Ali. Remember the boy from Louisville, who wanted justice more than glory. The system will try to separate you from that boy. Don't let them." Ali clutched the pocket watch, feeling its weight. "And what about you? You're talking like a man saying goodbye." "I'm under no illusions about my future," Malcolm replied with surprising serenity. "My path is set. But yours still has many possibilities. That's why I came today. Not to change your mind about the nation, not even to repair what's broken between us, but to make sure you understand the power you hold, and the responsibility that comes with it." The silence that followed was profound. Two extraordinary men, at a pivotal moment in history, contemplating futures neither could fully foresee. One would be assassinated in less than a year. The other would become the most recognizable face on the planet, would sacrifice years of his career for his principles, would eventually transcend sport to become a global humanitarian icon. "They'll try to turn us against each other in the history books," Malcolm said finally. "They'll simplify what happened between us, make it seem like we were enemies." Ali shook his head. "We're not enemies." "No," Malcolm agreed. "We never were." As their conversation drew to a close, both men understood something that wouldn't become clear to the rest of the world for decades. Their legacies were inextricably linked. The fiery young boxer and the revolutionary thinker had influenced each other in ways that would echo through American history. Malcolm stood to leave. "Whatever happens next, remember this moment. Remember that despite everything, I came to you as a brother. And when they write about us, when they try to understand what happened between us, know that the truth was always more complex than what they'll say." They embraced awkwardly at first, then with genuine emotion. It would be their final meeting. Outside the motel room, America was changing. The Civil Rights Act would pass later that year. Both men would play pivotal roles in shaping the nation's conversation about race, justice, and identity, roles that would continue long after both were gone. As Malcolm reached the door, Ali called out, "Malcolm." The older man turned. "I'll remember," Ali promised, and he did, for the rest of his life. If you've made it this far, and felt every word, don't leave without subscribing. I tell these stories with my heart in my hand, to reach people like you, who feel, who get emotional, who live. If this truly touched you, give back, comment, subscribe. Come be part of this family with me until the next video.